Before we get into the video, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I mean, come on, what are you doing if you're not subbed to me by now? My content is fire, from stop motions, news videos, reviews, music occasionally. All my social media accounts are linked down below, and now, let's get straight to it. What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. As you can tell by the title, got sort of a bad thing to talk about. So I was looking through Transformers news, figuring out what video I was gonna do today, and you know, I was looking online and I was like, man, Rise of the Beast just concluded its box office run, and would you look at this, it's not good news, and I'm sure a lot of people would want me to talk about this. So here I am. The box office run for Rise of the Beast concluded not too long ago, I think last week, and it didn't do well compared to the other Transformers movies. It's the lowest earning live-action Transformers film that we've ever gotten out of... How many movies have we got? 7. Out of the 7 movies, Rise of the Beast is the lowest. Now, that's not good. This is not good news, guys. You know, we were hoping for at least 600 or 700 million, so Paramount could, I guess you could say, break even and get some sort of profit from this. But it didn't. Worldwide, it finished at 438 million plus, international 281 million plus, and domestically 157 million plus. Now, when you compare it to the past films, Bumblebee, domestically it had 127 million, international it had 340 million, and worldwide 467 million. TLK had a domestic earning of 130 million, international 475 million, and worldwide 605 million. So comparing this to Bumblebee, which had a budget of 50 million, roughly, if I remember correctly, and it earned worldwide altogether 467 million, and worldwide Rise of the Beast, which had a budget of around 200 million, was 438 million plus worldwide. Now, you know, that's like a 30 million difference right there, and the budget for Rise of the Beast was way higher than Bumblebee, so this really sucks, guys. Now, the big question now is, for us Transformers fans, I mean, we obviously want to see a sequel to Rise of the Beast. The thing that we're wondering now is, are we going to be getting a sequel, and if so, when will this damn thing be coming out? Because this was not a big profit for Paramount at all. It probably wasn't even a profit whatsoever. I mean, we don't even have the marketing budget and how much actors were paid and stuff like that. So, I mean, that base budget of 200 million isn't even factoring in marketing and everything else. So, yeah, this is not good at all, and I just hope the sales for streaming and DVDs do really well, which I have some hope that it will, but again, we have no idea. You know, if you go back to my past videos from a few months ago, I was thinking this movie was going to do at least 600 million, but nope, we're sitting at around 438 million worldwide. Domestically, I thought it did really well. I mean, 157 million, and it did well. International, like, I don't know. It's just really sad to see. Transformers used to be such a powerhouse box office wise when you're looking at the first 4 films, and that's almost a decade ago now when that was the case. And since then, these movies have just been making less and less as the sequels go on. If we do get a sequel, and I have a feeling that we will, just due to the toys, how much they've sold, which I think, according to Hasbro, they've sold pretty well. And let's see how the streaming and DVD sales do. If that boosts up the revenue, I think we're probably going to be getting a sequel. And the time frame for when I could see this releasing, probably... I mean, it's not like this was a huge success, so I don't think Paramount would be rushing out of their way to make this movie. And plus, you got to factor in the writer's strike or actor's strike too. That's going on too. Everybody's on strike, so you got to factor that in as well. So we're looking at probably 2027 for the sequel. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking, or maybe at the earliest 2026. But I don't think it's going to be as long a wait as we did from Bumblebee to Rise of the Beast. That was, sheesh, what, 5-6 years almost? So I think it's going to be roughly about a 4-year wait for Rise of the Beast sequel. That's not too bad, but ideally I think us fans would want to wait another 2, maybe 3 years for the sequel. Because I think also the wait for Bumblebee's sequel sort of made people lose interest and kind of forget about what was going on with the Transformers movie franchise. I remember, videos, people reacting to the trailers and everything. People are asking, where's Shia LaBeouf? Is this a prequel to the Michael Bay movies? When do these movies take place? What is going on? Why are there beasts in this movie? Why does Optimus and Bumblebee look different? Why isn't Shia LaBeouf in this movie? Like, that's genuinely what a lot of people were asking leading up to the release of this movie, watching other people's YouTube videos and reactions to people that honestly weren't the hugest Transformers fans, but in terms of the movies, people would go out and watch those, see them in theaters, because, those were really big movies at the time, and that's what most people remember from Transformers, that and probably the G1 cartoon as well. So when you think about all that, and it was like a almost 5.5 year wait, going on 6 years too, it's going to be a domino effect of just things have to change. Something's got to give here where Hasbro and Paramount, they work something out where we get better production and we get better Transformers movies. And you're hearing this from a very passionate Transformers fan, somebody that really cares about the brand and wants to see it successful. I care about pretty much all aspects of the Transformers universe. So seeing this happen, it really begs the question, are they going to change this for the future? Like, we saw already that the animated movie got pushed back from July to September, because I think there is also going to be some competition for July of 2024. So it seems like they might be listening in that regard in terms of release dates and not dropping this movie around the same time as competition that'll probably eat away at Rise of the Beast box office numbers. But I just hope it's bigger change going into the sequel of Rise of the Beast. I really do want a sequel. Again, I think this movie turned out pretty good. Do I think it's the best Transformers movies we could get? No, I still think there's work to do. I still think there's people that they could get involved in this movie to really sort of hone in on the lore of Transformers, but 1000%, it is a step in the right direction. There's so many things that they did way better than all 6 previous films in terms of handling the Transformers as characters in the lore and setting things up. I think in that regard, the movie was pretty much perfect for Transformers. But in terms of writing and storytelling, we got to do better, especially if we want these numbers, box office numbers, to go up, because people are catching on to sort of mediocre action movies. People are starting to get sick of it. There's a little bit of fatigue going on the past few years, and studios have to invest in figuring out how to make these movies work again. And in recent years, they just haven't. I don't know what they're going to do with this. I just hope with the sequel for Rise of the Beast, they learn from this mistake and potentially to make actual profit next time and maybe even make back some money from what they lost on Rise of the Beast. They go a little bit smaller in terms of scale with the sequel, which might be why we might get the Soto film next, because that's supposed to be a smaller scale film similar to Bumblebee with, I think, around a $50 million budget as well. So they might be going forward with that movie before a Rise of the Beast sequel, just to make some money for Paramount to get the ball rolling so they could actually do a more high-end sequel to Rise of the Beast. And hopefully, again, they learn from those mistakes and we get a higher quality film, which in turn will probably lead to a higher box office for Paramount and for us Transformers fans to see a future within the Transformers movie franchise. That's all we want. We just want really good Transformers movies that do well at the box office to continue getting sequels or to continue getting movies in general. That's all we want. We just want a good Transformers movie with a clean, cohesive storyline, and we just didn't need all of this with Rise of the Beast. This would have been a profitable movie if they went the same route as they did with Bumblebee. Maybe turning it up just a little bit to what they did in Bumblebee, turning it up like just 1 or 2 notches, but not going full on Maximals, Predacons, Unicron, Terracons, mentions of Decepticons, blah blah blah, and they're trying to fight and save the universe once again. Like, we just needed to start out the same as we did with Bumblebee, maybe up the scales just a tad bit, and we would have avoided this loss of money and not really making much of a profit if we didn't have the bloated budget of $200 million for a sequel to Bumblebee. Like, that's just sort of ridiculous. But anyway, I'm rambling on this video. But as you can tell, I'm very passionate. I had a lot to say about this topic. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I want to talk about. Let me know down below in the comments. What do you guys think about this whole debacle here? When do you think we're going to be getting a sequel to Rise of the Beast? If we will, they just might, hell, freaking reboot this in like 6-7 years. Who the hell knows what Paramount wants to do with this franchise at this point? I mean, look at G.I. Joe. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about in this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye!